The Propcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. The recommended customers play just $5 and $100 bonus funds. Use promo code SGPN.
And Peggy the shot, the ground downfield. He gets the catch, and he gets in for the touchdown. The catch is made by Calvin Ridley. Wilson, as he throws.
And welcome, everyone, to the Propcast here on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. Currently Friday afternoon, 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. where we are, because we're both in Vegas right now in different rooms. But I'm your host, Scott Reichel, joined again by Adam Rosenberg. Together, we're going to break down our favorite plays for NFL Week 14. Adam, how's it going with you? How is the hotel? How's Vegas so far?
So far, so good, but we haven't hung out yet, so we got to hang out this afternoon.
I ended. I'll let you finish your point, then I'll just.
No. I mean, it is my birthday, so we are just we are cruising in.
I'm not wishing you a happy birthday until I see you in person. So rules are rules. Rules are rules. Some things are meant for in person, but either way. I got in late last night. I know you and Noops went to some rodeo convention thing.
It was lame. There was nobody there, and no, it was a party, and it was like a high school party basically, because there was nobody doing anything at it, and I was like, okay, this is silly. So we left.
Well, you ended up going. I got in late. I checked into my room. No hot water, which is nice. Besides that, the room's kind of a dump, but it's cheap. So that's why I'm here. But I ended up oversleeping the NBA show today. I was
wondering why you didn't respond to me. I was up at 8, and I was like, Scott said he was going to be up, and you didn't respond.
I remember setting an alarm. I woke up an hour before the show and said I'm going back to bed. So the alarm was still intact. I still made sure the alarm was there. Woke up, it was an hour after the show was supposed to start. And I said, I don't know what happened there, but my bad. So I recorded solo. But yeah, that's why the NBA show is a bit later today. But I'm awake now, so there you go. A point is I'm going to record the show with you now, edit it, and then I'm going to drive over to Circa to hang out with you. So there you go. But either way, that's the plan. Before we get into any of the props that we have for Week 14, a reminder, they're going to check out the SGPN merch store. Nice discount code going on right now until the end of the week. So if you want to get in on the actual good content that we have for a cheaper price, use the code HOLIDAY at checkout at the SGPN merch store for a quarter off everything until the end of the week. Promo code HOLIDAY, quarter off everything in the SGPN merch store. So moving on to the actual props that we have for NFL Week 14. Adam, what is going to be your first prop for the show?
All right. First thing we're going to do, we're going to take Jonathan Taylor under 20.5 rush attempts. I know you guys are thinking, why would we do this with Jonathan Taylor? Well, the Jags allow the least amount of rush attempts to anyone since Week 8. Taylor's also only gone over this 3 times this season. There's only 4 running backs the entire season who have gone over their rush attempt line against the Jags. And this is a key game, key divisional. The yards per carry is pretty low. I think that they're going to be able to actually do some damage against Jonathan Taylor. 22 is crazy. So, or 21 is crazy. So under 20 and a half rush attempts for Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense based on Jacksonville. You wouldn't have expected Jacksonville to have the fewest rush attempts against in the entire league. You mentioned since Week 8, it's just the entire season as well. They are.
Yeah, but what I like to do, and everybody knows this, is
I know you do.
I now use 5-game splits because.
No, I agree with. I like the recent sample size too for the NBA, but I'm saying for the actual season, it's not just a fluke.
Oh no, it's all year. All year, they've been great about this. Yeah.
So I can get behind it. Also, the game might be close. So if you're looking at...
And for those who care, we got this one on a Boyd's paper ticket. There it is, right there.
There you go. So you got the paper ticket. I did not. I bet it online.
It's a FanDuel line kiosk there.
There you go.
And then I go across the street and did the Caesars one. So
yeah. So nice. But yeah, I can get behind it. I mean, 20 and a half is a lot of touches in general. So I can get I can get behind the under on that one. Moving on to my first play. I actually coincidentally have 2 plays in the same game. I'm going to go with a longest rush play, which is very, very degen, but I still like it. Taysom Hill, longest rush under 6.5 yards at -130, which is very degen, but hear me out. Hill, we know in the past, has been a very, I'd say, well-known, I don't know if the term's a wildcat quarterback or whatever the hell you want to call him, quarterback power, whatever. He's done basically nothing this season in the ground game. In fact, he has not had a 7+ yard run in 7 of his first 8 games this season. The Buccaneers are elite against the run every year. They're allowing the 7th fewest rushing yards per game in the league. Last week against Miami, we know has a very bad run defense. Hill had 1 carry for 2 yards. I think that you're looking at Taysom Hill, who maybe will continue to be used in more of the goal line package role. But when it comes down to his actual usage, he's solely in short yardage. 3rd and 1, 4th and 1, red zone. You get my point. The longest rush, I really don't see happening for him. The fact is, I know in theory, if he breaks one run on 3rd and 1 for 8 yards, you lose. But he had 1 carry last week against an objectively bad run defense. Now he's against the Buccaneers, who have a very good run defense, and the actual longest rushes have not been there. So give me Taysom Hill, and Kamara might come back, by the way, after missing last week. We'll see what happens there. But give me Taysom Hill, longest rush, under 6.5 yards, minus 130.
I like the Saints a lot this weekend, so I like that. I like hearing that Kamara is going to come back. Look, Taysom Hill's like a fun guy to bet on, but he hasn't done anything this year.
That's my point. So
yeah, like you said, I'm agreeing with you. It's just like I think Ryan Bartholomew Kramer and Sean stacking Legos Green have a little bit of a love obsession with Taysom Hill, and I don't see the point to him.
Well, look, I'll put it this way. If you're ever going to actually bet on Taysom Hill this year, it's touchdown or bust. Either he gets a random red zone carry at the 1 yard line and he scores, or he does nothing in the entire game. So I'm fine with what you said. If the Saints win the game or even cover, I don't give a damn. Give Hill 3 separate 3-yard rushing touchdowns.
He's not getting, I agree.
But 6.5 yards, I don't know how many carries he's going to get in this game, especially against an elite run defense with Vea sitting in the middle. So give me the longest carry under 6.5 yards for Taysom Hill. Moving on to your second play. What do you like as your second prop?
Sorry, I was also just researching if I had a second prop that I was going to put in here for some things, but you guys will have to find out later on VSiN. Okay, so Kirk Cousins interception. We talked about this last week when it was plus 155 because it was plus 155 against a team that had no interceptions all year. Guess what? This is the opposite. It's minus 108 against the team that has the most interceptions this year, Seattle. So this, I do not, like, I literally wrote in my notes, what the fuck is this number? Seattle leads the league in takeaways and interceptions, 4 against Brosner last week, who we know stinks. Give me Kirk Cousins, get back to basics, throw a pick for us, minus 108.
Yeah, I love the play. I think at the end of the day, this was a play I actually thought about taking myself and decided not to. You ended up sending it to me, so I'm happy that I did not take it because we would have had the same thing. Yeah, Cousins against the Jets didn't look very good. There were no picks involved, but Cousins is a complete statue. Seattle can get after the quarterback. They're also very good at intercepting, and they're opportunistic. So I like the play as well. I mean, minus 108 is a joke. We both think Cousins stinks. I think he's washed. I mean, I think it's going to be an ugly game for the Falcons in general, but especially for Cousins. So I love the play as well. I think Cousins, I don't know if it's a ladder opportunity for 1 and 2 picks, but I don't think we need to go.
I don't think we need to go crazy, but
no, I don't think we have to either because 1 is a good price, but I think 2 is definitely in the possibility. It's a realm of possibility, right?
I think we should get a game script for it because Seattle is a 7-point road favorite, and I think they smashed this team. But
I do too.
2's not that great.
Okay,
2's on plus 432. Which is okay. It's just given that, keep in mind when we took Caleb a couple weeks ago, 2 was like 5-1.
Okay, so I'll rephrase. Would you prefer a Cousins 2 interceptions play or a Seattle defensive touchdown play?
Seattle defensive touchdown.
Okay, so the point is there's definitely something there with that.
Yeah, it's also it's also with Drake. Like I don't think he has a lot of guys to throw to, so I don't know like the volume's going to really be there for 2 picks. But like I think one of them's not going to get in the.
Well, what weapons do they have? Pitts has been underwhelming again. Who could have seen that coming? I mean, Mooney's been useless.
They don't have anybody.
I forgot Mooney was on the team, and he was supposed to be like a big piece for that offense. He's been terrible. They've been using, Sills is their new guy. That's what they've been using a little bit. So, not many weapons, but I think it's a bad matchup for Cousins as well. So I agree with you about the pick. Also don't mind the play on Seattle defensive touchdown because that can definitely be a good opportunity there. Anyway, before we get into the rest of the props for the show, reminder, they're brought to you by our new sponsor, Kalshi. So if you like trying prediction markets in all 50 states. Check out Kalshi because it's available in every single state. And a reminder, you can trade a bunch of markets and sports, including the NFL, college football, college basketball, NBA, NHL, and more. Plus, you can even trade props like first touchdowns. They have a lot of other options as well besides sports with entertainment, politics, even weather, if you want to be a super degen. But a reminder, if you want to actually try out Kalshi, we have a new offer with Kalshi. Get $20, no questions asked, when you use the promo code SGPN at sign up. That's Kalshi, Kalshi, promo code SGPN for a free $20. We're also brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. So if you want to check out pick'em entries, chance to win 5,000 times your entry, pick higher or lower on player stats, mix and match your sports with the NFL, with college football, with NBA, college basketball, NHL, you name it. But you can create different entries. So once again, different sports, mix and match, chance to win 5,000 times your entry. And a reminder for new customers, play just $5, get $100 bonus funds. Use promo code SGPN. Welcome back, everyone, to the Propcast. Finished going through our first couple props for Week 14. Time to go on into my second prop for the show. Same game. Said I was going to stay with the Saints game against the Buccaneers. Give me Bucky Irving. I'm going to take his over 64.5 rushing yards at minus 114. I've seen most books of 65.5 or 66.5. I think he gets to 70, but I found a 64.5, so I'll take that at minus 114. Last week, he was pretty good for us. We had the ladder. He had 17 carries for 61 yards, so now the 17 carries part was a bit surprising because he had not played in 2 months. So Tampa immediately looked at the, I'd say, supporting running backs and said, damn, you guys suck, and gave the ball to Irving 17 times in his first game back. So there was no easing in process. We know White is a receiving back. Tucker is okay, but he's clearly a backup. They went into the game last week and said, Irving, we are giving you the damn ball. We don't care how long you've been out for. Take us to a victory. And I see a pretty similar story here because the Saints have really not been good against running backs this season. They're allowing the 4th most rushing yards per game to running backs. And on top of that, last year, he owned the Saints. 2 career meetings, 81-plus yards in both games. I think the number's too short. I understand you could argue that there are some other running backs at play. Not really, because once again, Irving in his first game back in 2 months to help cash us the ladder got the absolute workhorse treatment from this team. I see 17-plus carries. I believe his carries numbers at 17.5. So if you're going to give me that many touches against a bad run defense, I'll take it. Give me Irving to go over 64.5 rushing yards at minus 114.
Love it. Let's do it. Like I said, I do like the Saints in this game, but I think Irvin's going to get that. It's
mainly about usage, though. Like, first game back, he had 17 carries off the rip. I just think he's going to be, of course, the main running back on the team. So there you go. Moving on to your final prop. What do you like?
Man, there's a lot of stuff that I also like that I'm not going to be able to give out. Oh man, they're really like. There's a lot of good stuff. I'm just seeing stuff that I'm going to give out tonight. I'm just like, wow, do I want that? Do I want this? I think I want who's run over my rush. Okay, writing a note to myself. Okay, so final play, and this is going to tie into my ladder. Kenny Gainwell over 17.5 receiving yards. I think it moved up to 18.5 right when we started the show. I don't care. I like it. Up. Over in 3 straight, 81, 30, 25. He is kind of with Aaron Rodgers and basically every quarterback on that team unable to really throw the ball. He's kind of become a de facto massive receiving option for them. Baltimore also 27th in the league in running back receiving yards.
I took the Chase Brown receiving yards on Thanksgiving, so that worked out.
Yeah. 4th worst DVOA to running backs. 3 straight overs against bottom half passing defenses. And 3 straight running backs have gone over the 6 of their last 9 in the last 5 games. Kenny Gainwell, I think that there is ladder possibility here, so we're going to take Kenny Gainwell. I'll give the updated number for people right here as we do this. So we're going to go Kenny Gainwell. Let's start it at 20. We'll go 20. We'll go 30. And we will go 20, 30, and then sprinkle on 30-1 leading receiver in the game.
Okay, so we're going to stop the ladder at 30 and then go for the leading receiver.
Yep.
Okay. Do you have the prices on that by any chance?
Yeah, so 20 is minus 102, 30 is plus 220, I mean, if you want, we could do the 40. Yeah, you can do 40. It's just a weird number, plus 471. I just think that if he gets past 40 yards, he does that in this type of game, in a divisional game. I like 30. I like 30 to 1 for him to lead. Like, if you, I know what you're going to ask me. You're like, what number do I think he needs to get it? 70 could possibly do it.
Yeah, that's fine.
So 30 to 1 for him to lead the game in rushing, I think is a good play.
I mean, we think Rodgers.
Lead the game in receiving, I think is a good play.
Yeah, we think Rodgers is a corpse. So we took his longest completion under last game.
They'd never
even throw, and then he died again, and now he's still there. But him or Rudolph, who cares? The team sucks. Yeah, I think you're looking at, and we know that the Ravens offensively have not been as great as kind of expected. So yeah, there's a chance that weird things could happen, and Gainwell could find a way. So yeah, I like the value on that. And for the latter, I definitely think that is an intriguing option. For my final play, as all of you know, I have to give out a kicking prop per episode. So I am going to go to the Dolphins game as they take on the Jets. Give me Riley Patterson. I'm going to go with the over 1.5 field goals at -110. He's been a machine. He's made at least 2 field goals in 6 of his last 7. He's made 7 field goals in the last 2 games. So recently there's been an even bigger uptick in volume. And the Jets allow a bunch of field goals. They're allowing the 3rd most field goal attempts per game in the league. We know Miami's red zone offense has really not been great recently, which is the main reason why Patterson's field goal numbers have been impressive. The Jets, though, have a pretty good bend but don't break defense in general. But I do think that Patterson's number's too low here, especially with the recent success, him going over in 6 of the last 7. Give me Riley Patterson over 1.5 field goals at -110 as my final play for the show. Anyway, moving on to bonus bets. Adam, what do you like that did not make the final cut?
A lot of stuff. I like Trevor Lawrence over 14.5 rushing yards. 14. He's gone over in 5 of his last 6. Mobile quarterbacks have done pretty well against the Colts. I like, similar to the Aaron Rodgers cap, I like Baker Mayfield under 33.5 longest completion. This was 38.5 2 weeks ago. We think he's hurt. I don't care about him last week. Give me the under. He hasn't hit this in forever. And I mentioned it earlier, but Aaron Jones over 44.5 rush yards, I really like. That is against the Commanders. I actually think the Vikings win this game, and I think they're going to do that on the back of him.
By the way, I'm not sure if you looked it up or not, but they're testing my will here. As you know, I've started a running bit of taking J.J. McCarthy interception in every single game. Do you want to guess what the price was for one McCarthy interception against the Commanders?
-170.
-200.
Yeah.
Once again, they are testing my will here, so I will not.
A better bet is the defensive TD in Washington, which I do have.
Yeah. For the record, I will not be taking that at -200. That's just not even.
Yeah, I'm saying the better bet is to take the Commanders' defensive TD.
Yeah, I know it's a running bit. Once again, it's a good joke, but I also wonder post concussions if they're going to lean more on the ground game, which goes right.
I think he's not going to. I would take his under attempts.
I agree. I don't know why you'd throw him out there when he's been terrible to begin with, and now
it's also a weakness of Commanders. They're terrible at that. So
yeah, I mean, we saw Harvey look pretty good over the last week's game, which was definitely entertaining, but still. So McCarthy, look, I think he stinks, but I don't mind the under attempts instead because I think they're going to rely on the ground game too. Is that a ladder opportunity, or does it scare you that they still have a bunch of other running backs on the roster that they kind of rotate in and out? Because Jones sounds like 60 is a possibility there for him.
I think so too, man. They don't even have lines for Jordan Mason. Is he dead?
I don't remember. I think Mason might have gotten injured at the end of the last, but I don't remember.
Don't lines up for him.
I don't see anything. I don't know. I don't see anything.
Yeah, lines, but I'm gonna be taking. Yeah. Anyway, I like Aaron Jones over rushing.
Okay, there you go. Anything else you want to add?
Nah, gonna get out of here and get some stuff together. I know that we got to do. We could do some underdog plays, and I think we got a lot of stuff we can recycle in it.
Yep, sounds good. Anyway, before we get into our best bets, a reminder, they're brought to you by our sponsor, Novig, which is another great prediction market for sports. #1 rated in America. So get some great prices by shopping around, comparing Novig's prices to sportsbooks. You'll be very impressed by how often Novik has the better number. Available in third couple of states. Download the app when you do so. Get a nice deal. Get $50 and spend just $5 if use our code SGPN. Got an extra Novik. Promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. So they're crushing in the NFL season, especially on props. They're also very good at college basketball. Bunch of predictions for actual sides and totals. Also, check out their college football models. You can build your own if you want to. A reminder, though, very easy to sign up for, and you can create your own model, copy one from the house leaderboard as well. So a lot of options for you. But a reminder, if you want to check out Rhythm with a nice discount code, we have something for you. Use code SGPN25. We download the app, and you'll get a nice quarter off your first month. Download Rhythm. Once again, promo code SGPN25. Adam, I'll ask you, though, what is one Rhythm play they like for the upcoming Week 14 slate?
So let's see what they like. I'm going to go to their smart signals, which is the best of the best. Like this, Josh Oliver over 2.5 receiving yards, -111. We just talked about how we think there's going to be a conservative game plan in Minnesota, and nothing's more conservative than throwing to your tight ends. Yeah. So let's do it. We know Josh Oliver gets work, so let's.
That is one simple play action rollout into the flat. That's really all you need.
I like that. I like that one a lot.
There you go. So once again, a Rhythm play is going to be Josh Oliver over. You said it was 2.5.
Yeah.
Yeah, over 2.5 receiving yards. Anyway, reminder though, check out Rhythm, code SGPN25 for a quarter off your first month at Rhythm. Welcome back, everyone, to the Propcast. Finish going through our props for Week 14. Time to move on into our best bets. Adam, what is your favorite play out of the three you gave out?
Cousins interception. It's got to be. It's time. The time has come. It's such a great price. It's such a great price for the matchup.
Yep, definitely true. I agree with you. You like that. Anyway, moving on to my favorite play. My best bet's going to be Patterson field goals over 1.5. The Jets allowed Cousins to go down the field constantly in the game last week. They won the game, but the point is I think the Dolphins can move the ball. The Dolphins, though, the red zone offense still not very good, and you are looking at a team that has been really just kicking a ton of field goals lately. Patterson has gone over this number in 6 of the last 7. He's had 3+ in 2 straight. 1.5 -110 against the Jets, who are allowing the third most attempts in the entire league. Great price of -110. I'll take that as my best bet for the show. Moving on to Underdog. Adam, anything you want to recycle, or you want to use the Oliver play? If it's listed?
Yeah, I was about to say, let's use the Oliver play on there. Let's do the Oliver play. Let's do. Remind me your best bet again.
My best bet was Patterson higher 1.5 field goals.
Let's do that. I think that's a good one. And then let's do Baker under 33.5 longest.
Okay.
Unfortunately, guys, we can't price
build it because we're in Vegas.
We're in Vegas, but you guys should. Someone should remind us on Sunday about it, like they always do. I always get a lot of good texts from you guys of like, hey, you got to remember to do this when we're all back in other places, or someone could possibly bet it for us, and we would appreciate it. So
yeah. So once again, the 3-choice underdog entry, we're going to go with the Baker Mayfield Baker Mayfield, longest completion lower, 33.5 yards. Riley Patterson, higher 1.5 field goals made, and Josh Oliver, higher 2.5 receiving yards. Anyway, the payout is TBD. Anyway, it's going to wrap it up for the show. If you want to find more of us, we'll be on VSiN later with Sean and with Kramer. We're going to roast their Pelicans to win the title bets. No, but either way.
And their JJ McCarthy
MVP?
Comeback player. Yeah, comeback player award. Yeah.
Comeback player. I thought he would have quit.
Dude, that is so in my pocket to say tonight. To be like, when Kramer inevitably says something about my bets, I'll be like, why don't you tell everybody about that future you put in for JJ McCarthy comeback player of the year? Why do you hide? What do you have to hide?
He was due. Yeah. He's gonna win a future XFL MVP award. But
comeback
anyway,
player from 2 benchings.
Yeah, we'll be on VSiN later. So if you want to check us out there, we'll be there in studio. Till next time, though, you can find me on Twitter Irish Radio. Find him on Twitter at Hey Rosenberg. A reminder to support the show, like, subscribe on YouTube, SGPN Propcast, and check out the actual podcast on Spotify and Apple. Once again, SGPN Propcast. Also available on Twitter at the Propcast SGPN. So support the show. Find us all on social media. You know all that. The whole.
We have to say all 3 of our plays.
Yes, I was doing that. I was setting that up
at the end. Usually you do the other thing first, so that's why.
Yeah, but I was going to forget to remind everyone to subscribe and to do all the other basic stuff.
That's fine.
I never do. So
that's fine.
Adam, can you just repeat your 3 plays one more time?
Yeah. Jonathan Taylor under 20.5 rushing attempts, Kirk Cousins INT, and Kenny Gainwell over at this point 20 receiving yards.
There you go. And that's also a ladder option. So keep an eye out.
I think that's
for
a ladder
that.
option.
So for my 3 plays, Taysom Hill, longest rush under, 6.5 yards, -130. Bucky Irving, over 64.5 rushing yards, at -114. And Riley Patterson, over 1.5 field goals at -110. Anyway, till next time, good luck to all of you and all of your bets. Bye, everyone.